Stop being weird. Fasting and stuff. I don't know what that was. Cut my string. Losers. Don't make my watermelon. It was in there. Blue, 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 blue. Why does it do that? That's mean. Slightly chilly. Testing, testing. 9 minutes to the bell. 9 minutes until the market opens. Get ready for this market open. It's a little chilly. It's a little bit, 64 degrees outside. Just a little bit. Not lie, baby girl, just a little bit. I'm gonna just get my little throat cover. I'm just a little chilly. Don't judge me. Just a little chilly. I can't believe that man came out and said now is a good time to buy, and the market literally spiked. Like no one ever seen spike before, and we just been bullish since. With some pullbacks, obviously. Some news driven sell-offs and crazy. $9.25, markets open in 5 minutes. Got that New York session. Pulling back. You know what I have not done? Schedule myself. I do not have any trade ideas going into the open. Last night we didn't get much action. This morning we did, so no trades overnight. We'll see if we get something set up today. I am streaming until about 10:30, and then I'm going to work. So I'll be looking for a setup to either enter in sometime throughout the day or potentially scout, or to get in overnight, or for tomorrow. We'll see. Just looking for a setup. Right now it looks like pulling back here. See what we get once this hourly candle closes in 32 minutes, 31 minutes. 2 minutes until market opens. I'm cold. Don't worry, I'm a freeze baby. Less than a minute here. 2 seconds, 1, and markets are open. 9:30. See what they do. Let me go back to the jazz section for a second while this market opens. So we ain't triggered. I ain't gonna be triggered. But let's slow it down here for a minute because I was thinking short. Maybe one contract. Maybe it might go down to repair price. I don't know. If it doesn't, when we push higher, then we got another spot to target. All right, let's see what else they got here. What? Trauma. Want to trade yet. $38 is the time. I'm thinking long, but I need something to tell me that actually I think I can Maybe I can safely go along. Let me see. Maybe not. Maybe make something. We got new high, so looking at the daily. Let's take a stab at it. I will adjust the stop as needed. I'm gonna try to add to it if I'll add to it and move my stop up, adjust it as necessary. Good. Thing is, we could I just bought at the highs. That's why I only put one on, just in case we pull back. I can add. If we get a little higher and pull back here, I can add as well. So bringing the average down. But from what I'm seeing, since we get to look to add somewhere if we get if we're right on this directional move. Don't know what that is. It'd be nice if this thing just grinded higher, huh? This dude about Trump doing something at 9:45. I don't like to hear it when I'm in a trade. Alright, looks like the directional bias might have been wrong. I don't know if this is a pullback or, I mean, this candle kind of just... Oh, I can keep that on it, actually. Let me see. The trade still there. trying to figure out. Either we took those highs out to pull back and go lower, or we're pulling back to go higher. Either way is fine. I got one micro on. Yeah, they erased my trades. Good thing I documented it. Good thing I documented it. Alright. The daily candle is pretty bullish, but there's my but we kind of gotta go early though. I can't even say that. 9:44 is the time. 19 seconds into the first 15 minutes. It's completed. So that's a 15-minute opening range. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. We're going to repair price. Oh, just enter repair. Okay. It's bullish. We might get the true move around what time we get it yesterday. I don't know, sometime after 10:30. Was it after 10:30 yesterday? Yes, it was. It was at 12. I love when they do that. Lunchtime when everybody's like, all right, lunchtime, markets are quiet. And then they just turn higher. It's like all the players leave and they're just like, all right, we'll just flow higher. Whoa. Oh, we got these wicks, so the buyers are trying to keep it up. We'll see how good of a job they do, though. It's a sign that they're there, but do they have enough power to push us higher will be the question. If not, then we go lower. And try to find more buyers to send us higher. Either way, again, it's fine. I want to build this up to the max of 5 positions. I have one on right now, trading micros. Didn't want to just jump in with 5 of them because this isn't a trade that I'm highly convicted in. The more it shows me I'm correct, the more conviction I will have in it, and I'll find a pullback to add 4. Adjust my risk, my stop level, and then let it play out. And I'll cut early if I need to. pulling back here. Sellers, yeah, that's a resistance level up there. So let's see what they do. I wonder if they're coming to repair price. That's a great opportunity, actually. But here, let's keep this. I'm actually, I don't expect much out of this trade, actually. Not before, I think we would need a pullback before we get to the next level that I want. Definitely need a pullback before we get way up there to like this level or this pink zone. We could pull back to 29.78 or here, that zone 29.9. If we do on the hourly, let's see, that'll be a big pullback though. We'll see. Definitely gotta pull back sometime. We've been running up since 5 a.m. So just to be careful up here, you know, we're due for a pullback at some time. One contract. Since I have that in mind, I'm not gonna move my stop before. Let's see. If we just grind higher, that would be great. This is the opening candles, but we see some small, steady candles. That would be nice. Trying to get to that 21,100s. We rejected at 21.09.3, pushing through it. We're at 0.94, 0.95, 0.95. Let's see if we can get to the 100s and what we do there. Okay, well, you know what? This hourly looks like I should be good to hold, but it would have been nice to get it down here. Was I cutting water? Nope. I came and sat down. No, it was here or there. It was open. Alright, we're gonna look for somewhere to add. If it pulls back to this previous resistance, shows some strength, then should be able to add there. Or maybe, let's see, do I want to let it get... maybe at this level, if we turn this level into... we turn this into some type of support, we can add there. Should be able to safely there. So if we break above this zone and we get some type of support above it, then I can add 4 there. Break above it, come back and retest it. Not. We broke through that 21,100 level. Rejected at 108. 108. Been nice to get more than 2 candles a more than 2 candle move higher before coming back to retest this. It's not a lot of strength. Coming up on that 180. 180 is what? 21, 120. Oh, that's that. Okay, that's that high. It's a daily high from March 3rd. Right at the top of this, around the top of this pink box. So we break that high and find some support. The next one is at 21,389, which is way 200 points higher, 200 something points. So we'll see what they do. Went right up to that level and rejected so far. Got to keep a couple things in mind here, right? On this trade, trailing drawdown is following me. So if this pulls back on me, I want to at least take some of the gains. If it pulls back too far, but that's why I needed to get the further away from my entry point that it gets, the better. That was a nice injection, bullish injection that came in there. Injection of buyers, testing that, just broke it. We broke that March 3rd high. All right, that's nice. Just sit. Let me move this to 4, not 5. It'd be nice to pull back here and try. If it gets, the further away it gets, that measure. To see nice and steady. Not bad. I mean, it's almost cool. But I guess I don't want to be too greedy, because this was not, like I said. Let's see what it is. If I would have had 5 in there, obviously this would have been. Shit, not if I add 4. Yeah, if we pull back. But from here, from my entry, had I entered in with the 5 contracts, we would have been halfway through that trade. So we would have been up about 500 something. Good trade so far. See if we pull back. Pull back and find support. That's the key, right? This is a big candle. Definitely have some room here to pull back. I don't want to give up. So I'm saying I wish, but it would have been better if this previous resistance that we can pull back and test was just a little further away from my stop. Because if we break it, then how close it is, I mean, not my stop, my entry, how close it is to my entry. If we break it, it could just send me to break even, or negative quickly. So that's why sometimes, you know, entry is important. Not sometimes, all the time. Entry, sometimes everything. Um, had I entered here when we were building, you know, we were building that support, then it would have been slightly different. But I'm thinking that this trade is still going to give me what I need. We are bullish. Trying to find support at the top of that. So here. Looks like we are trying to find support. We got some rejection up there, but we're trying. Yeah, we probably need to pull back and find support. But if we would have found support here, if we do find support here, the top of this pink zone is not add in there either. Not exactly here, but obviously I'll need a confirmation. That we pull back a little bit. This new candle, this new hourly candle open 10 o'clock, so daily is bullish, 4 hour, new candle open 1 hour. Everything is bullish. Daily 4 hour, 1 hour. I needed to pull back. I needed to pull back so I can add. I want to add here. Be careful. Thinking it through. I don't want to add. If I add here, my stop gets moved up, and there it is. It broke out. Gosh, I'm thinking. Okay, if I add here, my stop gets moved up. We can stop out on a pullback. But also, if we find support here, that is the March 3rd. It's the March 3rd high we broke. We're going higher. Well, we got one, so we got one on so far. So see how I'm changing not changing it, just trying to figure, is it gonna pull back? Do I want to wait for a pullback and then get in, or do I want to get in at the top of the zone? Remember I said if this zone breaks and goes from resistance to support, then I'll add there. But if I add there and we go just slightly higher, and it pulls back to somewhere in here, even to test this high, this wick. I have 5 on now, and so I have 1 on, but if I add 4 more, I'll have 5 on, which means my risk amount stays the same, but the distance gets smaller. So just trying to be careful here. Juno. Up 137 in the trade so far. Sorry. Up 130. 140 in the trade so far. Look, we on the same thing. Guess I should have added there, huh? I'm about to add. Oh my goodness. If I add, because it looks like you just want to grind higher. I don't think we're going to get a deeper pullback. These are the pullbacks. Like this. This is a pullback. Those are the pullback. Oh, this is a grind day. I'm adding. I did it. I am adding. Because I'm move this. Let me see where I'm willing to. I said 350, but let's see. Let me see. 500 is definitely too much. You could do it 400. I want 350, but I was a little not wanting to be left at the station and watch it pull back. That's what it does to me. Not to me, but that's what I do to it. Sometimes I'm like, I should have, like a long time ago. It didn't come back. I fixed it. I should have added there, but I hesitated. So now I have to deal with the consequences. Now we could come back. If we come back and break, let's see if we come back. Test it. 350 is here. Let's see. Here comes the pullback. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. It's looking like we got some resistance there. So 350 is around. Let's keep an eye on it. You gotta keep an eye on it and see 1,000, 144, 146. We get to the 160s. Where do we need? $21,229. 70, 80 points higher. Let's see. Actually, what am I doing? Why is this at 4? My fifth one. There you are. Come down. Could pull back somewhere in here. It'd be nice if it just kept running up, huh? 290, 300 in the trade. This level here. Come on, just break that level and go. This is that a 1 hour or 4 hour? Going down up here, pushing through the 160s. Alright, nice. And if I would have entered earlier with all 5, I would have been off the trade by now. But we're up 400 in the trade. 460. Gotta start trying to make a decision here because the way it's running up, which means it's gonna pull back. So I'm just gonna wait for it to finish this move it's doing. Not gonna sit through it because it's not gonna keep going before pulling back, and I don't want to. Let's see. Even if it does go, it's all right. Because this wasn't even. I wasn't even that convicted in this trade at first until I said if it shows me what it's gonna do, then. 470, 475. Let's see if we can touch back to 500. 470, 475. It's time to cut it. when it does that yet. 465, 75. Let's see. 48.50. Pulling back. 418. Okay. Cut it at 450. Took 450 on the trade. It's probably gonna keep going, but when I start doing that, I'm thinking too much. Not letting still going a little higher. Not letting the trade run though, but that's alright. There was a few things going on right there in my mind, like not being sure if we wanted to go higher, grind higher, slower, or go back and repair price. Would have loved to see it grind higher throughout the day, like smaller candles, like on a regular trend day where we just kind of grind higher, 3-4 candles up, 2 candles back, or 4 or 5 candles up, 2-3 candles back, that kind of thing. Small candles, all of them showing somewhere around the same volume. See that this pullback? That's why I'm glad I did cut it where it was. It would have been nice to get it at 500, but it took me down to like 418. Got a slight bounce to 450. Got out. I'm happy with the trade overall. But if it does pull back to this level, back to this 27 fib level, or even deeper, I don't want to be a part of that. But if it does pull back and show strength, then I can always get back in. But again, I wasn't quite sure what they were going to do. So I entered with 1, and I said if we go higher, then I'll add. Then there was a couple things going on up here where I said, okay, if we get to this zone and break this high and find support, I'll add. But then I started thinking, if I add here and it pulls back to the previous resistance, either this wick or the bottom of that pink zone, then I was giving up too much profits. It probably would have stopped me out without any profits. And so I kind of hesitated. Added 4 more in this candle and just rode it to here. I'm just watching after a while, the measured moves, like this is different. This is we ran up, we had sort of a bull flag there, and we ran up, and our pullback was that doji candle. We ran up, we got one smaller candle, like an indecision candle. We went up, we got another indecision candle, went up even higher, and pulled back some more. So this could continue higher. I'm fine with what I did because I didn't have any actual trade ideas besides I had a bias, right, to a bullish bias. Not really a bias. I wasn't married to the bias, but I did have I have a bullish outlook on the market right now, which is crazy because I'm a perma bear, but it is bullish. It has been bullish. As you can see, we are rejecting off of this level, my exit level. So, or the candle that from where we rejected at, this current initial balance high is 1012. Initial balance has not been established yet, but we have the extremes so far, being the low of the day and the high of the day. The 1 hour is bullish, the 4 hour is bullish, the daily is bullish. So we pull back deep enough, or set up for another long, I'll take it. Not opposed to it. 440 on the day. We got less than 400 left in the account to pass this account and get back funded. So just switching it up from the previous 3 weeks, the way I was trading. I wasn't really trading well. I had some days where it was good and some days where it was bad, but when the market conditions changed, scalping just wasn't working for me anymore. And there was something that happened within those conditions that made me get back to the way I was trading before, and to implement the fib levels back in, which is there it is. So that was the pullback. See, we get these little pullbacks. Scared me out, but it's alright. But yeah, putting the fib levels back on, which is what I learned when I first started. When I first started trading. So Didn't want to give up. That's what I didn't. I just didn't want to give it up, y'all. I didn't want to. But it looks like we could have held it, and I don't want to get in now, though, for sure. Not on that. You know what? It's grinding higher. These are just the size candles we're gonna get, huh? I was like, I don't want to get in. Ooh, that's nice. Let me see. Where's my tool? Look at that. So our average. I do the math. I can do the math. 1 second. Oh yeah, we. Is this? Did this? Oops. My levels got messed up somehow. Got messed up a little bit. But yeah, this was the first entry. Second. Yeah, we would have hit our $1,000 TP. Maybe. Because all right, let's see. 1 second. Are we gonna target my pink box? The other pink box? We broke this one, we can get rid of that. Let's make a note of where it's at, just in case we come back right before my entry. Alright, so this first entry was at 2106, 125. Then I have 4 at 21,144. Those are the pullback. This is definitely a grind. It's just grinding higher. Man, do I want to get back in or what? But I tell you, let me see. Now I don't need to make $1,000. I need to make. I'm gonna adjust these. I need to make about 400. I'll do the math in a second. 5. So 21,128. 0.45, 0.50. 21,128. So about here, yep. My full TP with it is looking like it's almost gonna hit. It's looking like it would hit. This was my new price, my new average price. So I could have held it, but I wasn't willing to. Let me see. We're still we have room. I might get in and target 21,411. And there it is, just through my TP, straight through my TP. Straight through my original TP. Okay, here we go. Right into that range. I'm missing it. Okay, let me see. 52. $360, so I need about 370. I need 370. Let's see what risking 100 looks like with, let's see, 370 with 2 contracts. So I need to move like short or long. I need to move like this. Move it over. What I say, risking 100? Why am I? I'm like, why am I? Alright, I need this kind of move. Shit. I keep on to make 370. I need about if I can get my levels right. I really keeps moving on. What's the year? Oh, we keep moving like that. Little slippage. Gotta account. We gotta account for pulling back here. Oh, I am just okay, well that's somewhere about right. Bigger red candle than we've had previously. So I need about 100 ticks or 25 points. No, I need 300. What am I talking about? I need 370 ticks. I need 370 ticks to pass. Or 92 and a half points. But with 2 contracts, that's only 46 points. Obviously, if I trade 3 contracts, that's 30 points. If I trade 4 contracts, that's 23 points. If I trade 5 contracts, that's only an 18-point move. But I don't want to have that tight of a risk trading 5 contracts just to make 370 and only risk 100. I have like a few ticks of risk level. I'll have 40 ticks or 4 points. Never. Or 10 points, I'm sorry. I'll never do. So I like these little beats I was playing. It's 10:21. Might have to pass this tomorrow because I cut my trade short. So I have to keep that thing in mind, right? Had I not cut my trade short, we would have hit our full TP and the account would have been passed. So I have to keep that in mind and not just jump into a trade just because, keep it in mind the move that's already happened and how my first entry was not the very bottom of the move. Neither was my second entry. So you have to keep that in mind, right? Where you entered in on the trade, how much further do you expect the trade to go? Instead of just jumping in, thinking that we're going to get some more continuation higher without having confirmation of that. So some type of pullback and then like maybe a bounce or some type of pullback and then building support at a level would be nice. 36 minutes left in this hour candle, so I'm gonna wait, let that play out, and I'm not gonna be live, so I probably won't unless I find something that's like they keep trending higher. Like if these moving averages come down across, we start building support and they return bullish, like given a trend signal, like a higher move, then yeah, I'll get in. But other than that, it's 10:23. I'm about to end the stream in 7 minutes. Up $440 on the day. Left about $560 on the table, but that's okay because It's all right. I actually think it'll get into this level here above us. This pink box. This zone. Or should I just make it 200, 200 to make 400, even though I don't need that. I can see. We'll see. Definitely have to find something, but I marked this on a 4-hour, huh? I marked that one, baby. That is that's a wide I was looking at this earlier, but I think yeah, that's what it is. So about there. This is where we sold off from. Starting in February, we sold off, bounced down here. Can't see it, you gotta follow the price on the right and follow this dotted line. We sold off up here 21,400s, 21,400s. Sold off to the 21,075. Bounced and sold back off at the 21,370s. So right now we're sitting at the 21,230s. So that's where it's trying to go. That was the pullback. That was definitely the pullback. Where's my little tool? If we break this high, see, I need to risk more because my risk needs to be below this level, which means which means we would have to risk 125, about 175 to make 370. I'd rather find something. $100 is tight. So let me see. $150, $175. $200 is just that's half of my profits from today, and I don't want to. I don't know. We'll see what it does. I'm not gonna force anything. I'm not gonna force anything. We only need what do we need? Less than 400 to pass the account, so I'm not gonna force anything. Just hindsight, just wishing I would have held that. Where was my average? I said 21, like 128. 0.25, that made it my average, and obviously would have hit my full TP and that. So that's something else to think about, right? It's like, well, I had my $1,000 trade today. I cut it early for different reasons. Wasn't sure if we were going to continue higher, since this was the biggest, besides down here when we first opened at the 942, 945 candles. This was the first time we seen a lot of sellers come in after all these green candles, and so I wasn't sure if we were going to pull back to, my entry level or not. And I had to make a decision, just like Monday. Do I take what I have or risk it to make a little more? Now, obviously, I wasn't halfway through the trade, but Monday night, which was Sunday night, which I'm gonna do a video after that tonight. Sometimes you have to you have to consider certain factors when you're cutting your trades early, right? Like, how much are you leaving on the table if it pulls back and hits your stop, or if you are already 80-90% into your profit target, do you want to risk 30% of that, 40% of that, just to make the other 10% of that trade? Because that is sometimes where a little bit of luck comes in, right? If you move your stop, let's say you're like, okay, price could come back and test this level here. If you move your stop here, or even here, it's NASDAQ can do what it wants to do. It can come back and stop you out and then go higher. So that's a little luck, and then if you put it lower, if you decide to put it lower to give it room just in case it wants to do that, and it actually doesn't do that and falls lower, then now you've risked all of that to make, a couple more dollars. So in this case, because of where my entry was, that's kind of what I was dealing with. If it pulled back here and comes around my entry, do I want to risk letting it go negative just, to come back and see if I can get it all? Obviously, in this case, it worked out, but you never know. So I decided to cut it. I'm profitable on the day. 10:30 is the time. Initial balance is established. And we have a high of the extreme and a low of the extreme. So now we see what they do. We also have the imbalance. Where did I go? Just playing with this to see if we pull right back to that 38 and just went right to. All right, well, let's get rid of that. Creating all these imbalances on the way to the upside. That's good, because that gives trade opportunities, creates trade opportunities, because either we're gonna go repair them and trade repair them and trade lower, repair them and trade higher, accept them, trade higher. So now is the time. It's like, it's kind of creating this bear bull flag. So now it would be like, when I was scalping, I would look to take a scalp to break initial balance highs, and then I would get out, and because I was trading minis then, and then I would get out if the trade was correct. Once we broke it, take a couple $100, a few $100, whatever, depending on how high that breakout candle goes, and then I would scalp that, get out, and then wait to see if we pull back into initial balance or if we find support to go higher. But if we're rejecting that initial balance, then you can fade the extremes, right? No, not financial advice, but you can short the highs, buy the lows. Obviously you can't just put that on. You need to look at the price action and see what it's doing. But those are good locations to say, okay, we're rejecting that initial balance high. Yep, this is, we're rejecting for sure. Indicators are lining up. You go short. You can target either 50% of this move, or you can target the lows. Depends on you, how you are as a trader. Because we can pull back to the middle, trade sideways. We can pull it back to the middle, bounce, pull back lower, bounce, pull back lower to go test the lows. Sometimes this thing ranges within the extremes, right? It's just, how does it get there is the question. Same with going higher. This thing can reach this pink box at some time today, this pink zone. You can reach that zone sometime today. How does it get there? Does it pull back first and then go higher? Does it go higher from here? Right? Pull back, find support at initial balance, and then go higher. It's all about waiting for the setup and letting it show you what it's going to do. But time is 10:33. I'm going to work. Thank you all for tuning in. Up on the day. We almost passed this eval so we can get back into a funded account. I do have another account resetting tomorrow with Top Step. And I got about some more evals resetting with Apex. So we'll try to trade these the way we've been doing and those next ones to get us funded and keep doing the right thing, right? Be patient, be smart, trade well, don't force trades. If you're gonna trade today, I am taking that as a day unless something really sets up. I think I'm gonna call it a day. If not, if I find something, then obviously I'll pass the account and I'll pay for the activation fee later. But if not, I'll come in and we'll trade the evals. Either way, I'll be here 8 a.m. I'm trading, regardless if it's an eval or funded. We're gonna keep doing this until it pays us well. Thank you all for tuning in, and be safe, be blessed, be loved, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Trade well.